If you work in purchasing, inventory, or supply chain, and you're still not using artificial intelligence, you're probably wasting hours of work every week. And I'm not talking about theory, I'm talking about real tasks you do every day. Hi, I'm Pablo Barrio, and I help supply chain professionals enhance their profiles with tools like SAP, Excel, and artificial intelligence applied to real work. Many supply chain professionals do their jobs well, but they still spend too much time on manual tasks. For example, writing emails to suppliers, which you do every day, comparing quotes, summarizing contracts, summarizing inventory data, or preparing reports for management. You all know that all of this takes up time. And when you spend too much time on operational tasks, it becomes harder to grow professionally, add more value, and position yourself better within the company, which is exactly what everyone is looking for. People, artificial intelligence isn't here to replace you, it's here to help you work faster, with greater clarity, and with better structure. But obviously, the decision always remains a human one. However, speed, organization, and analytical support can greatly improve your work. Let's take procurement as an example. If you work in procurement, in purchasing, in buying, artificial intelligence can help you in several ways. First, by drafting more professional emails to suppliers. For example, you can ask it to help you write a follow up for a delayed delivery of a purchase order, a request for quotation, or a formal response regarding a price difference. Second, it can help you compare quotations. You provide it with information from several suppliers and ask it to organize the advantages, risks, differences in lead time, price, and payment terms, and it creates the entire outline for you. Third, it can summarize contracts or lengthy documents. This doesn't mean it replaces legal review, right? But it helps you identify important clauses, potential risks, and points that need closer attention, right? Fourth, it can help you prepare for negotiations. For example, you can ask it to act as an expert manager or a senior buyer and give you viable arguments for negotiating price, deadlines, or volume. Now, let's move on to inventories, for example. There's also a lot of value here. AI can help you detect slow moving materials, possible inventory excesses, or products that are close to becoming obsolete inventory. It can also interpret different types of data, right? You can also attach a large stock database to it, right? For example, you give it an exported Excel table and you can ask it to explain consumption trends, critical materials, irregular behaviors, right? Additionally, it helps you prepare executive reports. Instead of just showing the numbers, you can ask it to turn that data into a clear summary for the manager, your superior, or for an operational meeting if you have one, right? And something very useful, it helps you prioritize. Not all materials need the same attention. AI can help you separate what's urgent from what's important and what you can review later, right? So it separates what's urgent, what's important, and what you can review later. It creates the entire checklist and the whole outline for you. It's a potential assistant for supply chain management. I want to clarify something. It's not all about ChatGPT. Yes, I agree. ChatGPT is very good, right? And I explain it in my academy, but it's not the only option. There are also other very good artificial intelligences like Claude, Gemini, Notebook LM, Gamma, and others. In the academy, I explain the 16 artificial intelligences that I use in supply chain management. There are different functions, and sometimes it's better to use one AI over another. I explain all of that in the academy. Some are, for example, functions to improve or summarize documents. Maybe ChatGPT or Claude would be best for that. I explain all of this in the academy. For presenting information, well, you can use these artificial intelligences. For helping you structure ideas or prepare visual materials, you can use this artificial intelligence. The idea is to show you the range of possibilities you can use, right? And sometimes it happens that an AI crashes. You attach a file and it doesn't work, which happens sometimes because that particular application is having issues. And you can just use another one and keep working as usual. Do you understand? The important thing is to choose a real task in your work and start with a tool that helps you solve it better, right? It could be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, but you need to know that for this task you're doing, well, you can use this artificial intelligence. And what is the most common mistake when using AI? The most common mistake I see is when people use artificial intelligence in a very vague way. For example, they write something like analyze this. That will usually give you bad answers, right? If you want good results, you need to have a good prompt. What is a good prompt? It should include 5 parts: role, context, task, format, and constraints. For example, act as a senior buyer, an expert purchaser, analyze these 3 quotes, compare their price, delivery time, potential risks, answer me in a simple table, and give me a final recommendation. That already completely changes the quality of the response. If you write the prompt well, the answer will be very, very good. People, the professional who learns to combine supply chain with artificial intelligence will have a real advantage, I assure you. You will save time, communicate better, analyze faster, be more productive, and add more value to the business. Today, it's no longer enough to just know the operations, you also need to know how to work smarter. Precisely, you have to rely on artificial intelligence. People, if you want to learn more about supply chain, SAP system, module, Excel, or artificial intelligence applied to real work, follow me. Here you can see my website, the 4 packages I offer, right? There you can decide, and please, what I want is personal meetings. It's better for us to have a 20-minute meeting to clear up any doubts, to understand your level, and I can prepare a customized solution for you, whether it's artificial intelligence, Excel, SAP, or a combination of them, whatever you need.